Copy moves. Copy that. When I get a stance, I'm going to move the whip up and back. That's as wide as I can get it. Yeah, I'm going all the way out. Moving it now. Copy.
So again, just to clarify, it is driver practice. Each driver has one practice run, and then we will begin qualifying. Because of the weather, we are live here at Road Atlanta. Again, this is round 3. Advanced Auto Parts, Road to the Championship, Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Again, we have moved up and modified the schedule for the Pro, because Pro 2 will inevitably have wet conditions. But for Pro qualifying, we thought we'd slide it up and basically have one practice run qualifying, and then with the leftover time, the drivers will have practice, which could potentially be in the wet, because top 32 tomorrow might be seeing some wet action tomorrow, so give them a little bit of wet practice, and then Pro 2 is exactly where it should stand. So again, this is drivers practice, each driver one run, and then they head back up to the top of the hill, and we will continue with qualifying here in the Pro class. All right, well, that does conclude driver practice. We will now begin qualifying. Ryan Sage, I'm Jared Deanda, got Ryan Sage. Now let's bring in the third member of our team. We'll have Lorette Nickel down on the ground, but Ryan Lontaine, you're one of the judges. You speak on their behalf. If you could, elaborate on this track and the requirements that you're looking for.
So we have 5 different scored zones on this track. We're looking for a really snappy initiation. You can see all the rubber there. It's really easy to see where the majority of people are initiating, typically around the 2 cone. So if you look up there at the initiation area, there's a 3 set of cones, 2, and then 1. The 1 cone would be the absolute latest that they can initiate. I would say if they initiate there, they're probably going to be going off course with the speed they're coming down that hill at. So right around 2 is generally where people initiate. We want them to get to angle very quickly and smoothly as well. Once they get to angle, we've asked them to stay at the same amount of angle through inside clip 1. So we're not looking for big backwards entries that they're going to have to pull angle out of, slow down, and cause a big kind of stall up on the track. And all the drivers agree that that's probably the best way to get through that corner anyway. And we've had some pretty aggressive initiations with big angle that have looked really good. So getting by inside clip 1, we want them nice and tight, of course, on that clip. And then full throttle all the way up the hill to outside zone 1, which is marked by the 2 orange cones. And right in that area, we want their left rear tire on the rumble strip. That will denote basically them being in that zone. From that point to outside zone 2, we want to make sure that they're running a wide line. So there's an orange cone on the inside, a yellow cone on the inside there. That's not a clip. That's strictly a marker for everybody to know where the edge of the track is. So we want them to go really wide through 1, all the way out to outside zone 2 on a wide line, and then fill that outside zone 2 right on the edge of the pavement. At that point, it's a really important area for them to be very, very patient. If they get on the throttle too soon or try to carry too much speed, they're going to overshoot inside clip 2. And that's a really difficult area right there because it's off camber, so the track kind of falls away from them in that area. So if they do come in a little too fast, the car tends to really wash out, go really, really wide, and then they're going to have a big stall up in that area as well.
And just to interject as we see our last car come out for practice here, can you give us the difference between the yellow cones and the green cones so the fans understand the markers that are on the course versus the zones and the inside clips?
Right. So if you see where MOHAN is right now, that's an outside zone. So that's 2 orange cones, that inside clip, orange cone. Any orange cone you see on track is going to be denoting an actual scored area. So a zone or an inside clip where they need to be close. Right where he is right now, there are 2 orange cones. Those will denote the finish line.
Now this year, we've actually gone away from calling things a 0 for runs that have just gone too far. We've gone to what we've called incomplete. So what are the incompletes for qualifying?
So for qualifying, there are only 3 hard and fast incompletes, and that's going to be spinning out, so complete loss of control. Opposite drift, so if a car is drifting in the opposite direction that it should be at any point on the track, that's going to be an immediate incomplete. And then hood, hatch, trunk, or door, so anything latchable, if they open on track, that will be considered an incomplete run as well.
And we saw a little bit of Pro 2 last night in qualifying. What were some of the things that stood out to you, and what are you guys really expecting from the top drivers in the Pro class in order to get those 90 and above scores?
So the big thing on initiation is the commitment that you're bringing down the hill. And we saw last night during Pro 2, some drivers being a little too aggressive and going into the kitty litter, which, it's a fine line between going too fast and too hard and not enough. And we had drivers on both ends of that spectrum. It's that really getting in that sweet spot on initiation that's going to give you a big commitment score from the style judge. And it's going to give you a good angle score as you come through inside clip 1 as well. Coming up the hill, it's really important to stay on throttle late enough that you can fill both outside zone 1 and outside zone 2 in the proper way. Now, we don't want to see drivers creeping up to outside zone 1, being a little timid, and then trying to accelerate up to outside zone 2. What we want to see is full throttle from inside clip 1 all the way up to outside zone 1, where that'll give them the momentum to get all the way up to outside zone 2 using the weight and momentum of the vehicle, which at that point we expect them to use the angle in the car to slow themselves down for outside zone 2. It's a very risky thing that you need to do in that area because it's sort of blind coming up that hill at speed. And if you misjudge it in either direction, you're either going to be way off on the inside or you're going to go shooting off the track in the grass.
All right, well, it looks like we're ready to get into qualifying right after this, Jared. So any last words before we get a quick break in?
No, I'm excited to be back here. 14 years we've been coming here. This is what I consider the womb of Formula Drift and drifting in its true growth here in the United States and now across the globe. But it's just great to be back out here. As I said, some of the best fans in the drifting world, and we're about to kick it off. So I'm glad that we can massage it around the weather. So when we come back, we'll see qualifying here at the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship. This is round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Qualifying when we return.
When I was a kid, I wanted to touch the skies.
I wanted to invent things.
I wanted to protect others.
I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to make a difference.
I knew that one day I would be the difference.
I am a special missions aviator.
Clinical nurse.
Pararescueman.
I'm Captain Chris Niels, and we are American Airmen.
See more at airforce.com.
And here we are. So at the top of the order, again, the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship. We're already at round 3. It's crazy. I mean, just a few short weeks ago, Ryan, we're in Orlando sweating it out. And now from Georgia himself, he is the lone Georgia boy out here in competition, is Taylor Hull of Firm Consulting, Asphalt Anarchy S14. Here comes Taylor Hull on his first qualifying run. All right, transitioning in. Flicks it in. You talked about that second initiation cone. Past that first front clip. Good angle right now. You know, we've modified the course from years past. Okay, it doesn't get all the way out to the outside zone. You can hear him whopping on the throttle. Good execution. Exiting, you see some minimal corrections from his front wheels as Taylor Hull wraps it back past what began as the first front clip and then rounds out being the final front clip as well.
Well, we've really seen a lot of maturity here from Taylor over these past few events as he comes into his debut here in the Pro Series. You can see big e-brake pull there right by that second standing initiation cone. Now moving up the hill, back on the throttle here, transitions up the hill, trying to get to this outside zone here. And like you said, Jared, a little bit short on the outside zone inside the horseshoe there. And you can see that inside clip, the orange standing cone a little bit wide there, wrapping it back around this last turn here. And as we bring in Ryan Lantain, Ryan, anything that stands out to you here from this first run from Taylor?
No, you guys covered it pretty well, just a little bit off on a couple little areas. Could have been a little bit more aggressive on the angle side of things, but I don't think it'll be a terrible first score.
As I said, holding it down for Georgia, Taylor Hull. I know his family here, his wife and everybody. So 69, dude, there for Taylor Hull. And Ryan, as you said, yeah, maturity coming his way from Pro 2 to Pro, so it's great to see him mix it up here. So a 69 there for Taylor Hull. Next up, who do we have? Robbie Nishida, the Bushido Blade, debuting his new car. This car's been under construction for some time, so it's great to see his Achilles radial Jerry Yang Racing Skyline out here in the mix. All right, Nishida initiates. Past that first front clip. Transitions. You see that some wavering there. The front wheel's getting into the dirt and goes backwards off course. That will be an incomplete run, unfortunately, for Rob Nishida. Looks like he's got the power. I mean, the thing looks great. It sounds fantastic. And we know he has the Achilles radial tires underneath it.
Well, anybody that's met Robbie knows he's one of the nicest guys in the sport. Obviously lives in Japan and spends a lot of time over here. We get to spend a lot of time with him. Great guy. Unfortunately, he'll have an incomplete on run number 1, but certainly the car looks pretty awesome in practice, and I'm certain he'll lay down a solid run on run number 2 as he heads back up to make some adjustments there. But throttle control is really important on this track. You know, it's one of the only ones we have where you go back up the same way you came down, or rather vice versa, and being able to manage all aspects of this course is one of the things that makes it so technical.
It's kind of a rhetorical question, but over the years, you know, we've modified it. Used to start into the horseshoe, the keyhole, whatever you want to call it. Used to enter it down at the bottom. Now, you know, for lack of a better term, we enter up top. I think, again, rhetorical question here, but what do you make of this course?
Well, a lot of people used to not think that we could actually bridge the bottom turn to the top turn.
Right.
And the year that we tried it, there was a lot of controversy surrounding that. But sure enough, teams made adjustments. They had enough grip in their cars, and now I couldn't see it doing it any other way.
Right. I think it's just a better flow. Work, you know, started from the bottom, now we're here, and literally and figuratively as they make their way up the keel. Another question. We always say somebody's a nice guy, right? You know, you kind of, oh, he's one of the nice guys. Who's a real jerk? I'm just kidding. Here we go. So this is Kyle the Menace Mohan, built to apex, Mazda Tricks, top one, oil. The necks and tires underneath. Brings it on through. There we go. Kyle Mohan, I believe, you know, I'm looking at the driver's list. I think he's the Yeah, you're stepping on it.
I was cutting myself off.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here? I just muted myself. But Kyle wrapping around this last inside clip here, goes a little bit long as he comes down the hill here. You can see lots of smoke out on course. It seems, in particular this year, we're seeing a lot more smoke on course. It just feels that way. I don't know if that's true, but it just feels like it's definitely much more this year.
Yeah, the smoke screen is thick. So as Kyle Mohan rounds it out and awaits his score. And waiting for Kyle Mohan's score. The judges tabulating. Kyle Mohan had a 32 spots. That means, and you know, we talk about it. Oh, there you go. Kyle Mohan, a 68. So just one shy of Taylor Hull's score and puts him into second position. So Kyle Mohan, a 68 on his first qualifying run. I'm sure he's going to learn from that run there and take it back up top on a second run and push even harder. As we continue through qualifying here, our next driver will be Jeff Jones. That's Jeff Jones at the top of the hill. Is Doc S14. Supercharged LS from Los Angeles, California. Sun Valley, California to be exact. And here comes Jones. Jones through the start chicane. And initiates, nice. At that second cone, you can see the 1, 2, and 3. Really tight on that front clip. Dancing with the curtain. Getting into the rumble strip, that's what the judges want to see. Using all the course, getting out there is Jones. You hear the RPMs kind of bogging down, but he's made, you know, as far as exhaust note, take that out of the equation. He has put the car in all the right places. Nice job by the relentless one, Ryan, as you deemed him. A great execution there from Jeff Jones. He's gotten familiar with this track, jogging it, I saw. Take a look, walk us through it again.
You can see nice early initiation here. You can get full points for initiating at that last standing cone. What the judges are really looking for on initiation is minimizing the e-brake pull at a very long length. If you can avoid that, they want you to use the momentum and the angle of the car in order to get into that first turn. You can see Jeff does a nice job positioning himself to get up into the keyhole. Now back down the hill here. Good throttle control, staying nice and tight to this last final clip here, and a good first pull there for Jeff Jones.
I liked it from, again, as I saw on social media. I just came in yesterday, but Jeff has been here for quite some time. Looked like he's jogging the whole course. So 66, so we're right in that realm, 69, 68, 66. And Jones, a 66 on his first run. Next up, Pat Gooden. Pat Gooden coming to us from Florida. The Huddy Racing, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Hankook Tires, S13. Pennzoil on the hood and the front bumper. Here we go. Pat Gooden throwing it in. At that last #1 cone. Taking out that front clip. got the power. You can hear him winding it up, bringing it in. Nice job. Out of the horseshoe. Well done by Pat Gooden. And there it is. Pat Gooden putting down a solid first qualifying run.
Well, Pat Jarrett is another driver, as you know, that's certainly developed his program over the past year or so, bringing on some big sponsors here and really becoming a true pro driver. And he starts off here utilizing his great talent, getting into that first corner without locking up the brakes too much or pulling the e-brake. Nice job right here up the hill, good throttle control. Shoots to the outside here, and he's able to paint his back bumper right in the middle of that outer zone. A little bit long on that inside clip, but not too big of a mistake. Good fluid motion down the hill here. You can see he's all the way on the throttle. Good final transition and into that last inside clip. So Pat Gooden starting off with a solid lead run in his run number 1.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think where the sport has come from 2004 to now. And a 77. So Pat Gooden is driving, impressing the judges with a 77. As Pat gets a score on the board. All right, sending our next driver, Dan Burkett, Rad Industries. Next entire Toyota Supra. Originally from Washington, now living in Costa Mesa, California. And here comes Rad Dan, as he's known. Business up front, party in the rear. As I said, from Orlando, now the Toyota Supra of Dan Burkett, kind of missing the mark a little bit there, but keeping the wheel speed up, good momentum through the course, and wraps it around that final front clip. So Dan Burkett, good execution from him, as we can see the judges analyzing it. Lantain jot some things down. I'm gonna get some feedback from Ryan Lantain, see what he thought of Dan Burkett's run, as well as overall. I mean, these guys are making it look easy. That's what I was kind of getting to, is the progression from 04 to now. And well, similar to Orlando, I think we're going to really start splitting hairs here, start getting into the higher ranked drivers. Lantain, from you, as far as what you saw from Burkett, and we're really, we're going to start splitting hairs here.
Yeah, he was looking pretty good, pretty committed on throttle. The only thing I saw right up here in the horseshoe was the way he was applying the angle. It was, it was
76,
sort of
76.
76. It sort of looked a little. His angle came in steps. It wasn't smooth the way he was laying in the angle. So he'd get to a certain point and kind of hold it, and then let it go a little bit further and hold it. So it wasn't the smoothest application of angle, I guess you could say.
All right, here we go. Chelsea Denofa. Chelsea Denofa behind the wheel. The PC Racing Ditto tires. Ford Performance Mustang RTR. Yeah, dipping in. Oh, right on the edge. You see him lock up that centerline wheel. Out of the horseshoe, and look at the smoke just filling this Mother Nature's amphitheater here at Road Atlanta. Nice job by Denofa. Chelsea Denofa, say howdy, get rowdy.
Well, one of the many things that fans love, and I really love about Chelsea Denofa's driving, is the fact that he's willing to take a risk, and he does that right here. Throws big angle in the car, which could have really slowed him down, but you can see he kind of came through there with a fluid motion, so he was able to pull it off. And then right here, big angle coming up the hill, just threads the needle right there in that second outer zone, and then right through that inside clip. And this motion back down, you can see the front wheel lifting, huge smoke cloud, and a snappy transition back around that last inside clip. Solid run from Chelsea Denofa, and really, really excited to see him continue to develop that vehicle.
Also, if you're watching on Facebook Live, be sure to share questions and comments on the feed. So again, if you're watching Facebook Live, keep the conversation going. 88, coincidentally, that's his race number as well. So Chelsea Denofa with an 88, our current #1 qualifier. Also, if you're watching on the app, if you've downloaded the app, or if you haven't yet, download it. And you go and add the app and you type in FDRA, you're going to receive, how many points was it? 50 points? 50 points. 50 points. So if you're watching the live stream on the app, FDRA, you'll get 50 points.
Yeah, we're on the Sports on FB channel right now on Facebook Live, so make sure you leave your comments and anything else that you'd love to talk with us about.
Oh, sorry. Cameron Moore here, that nameless performance. The Butcher debuts his new vehicle, his new livery. That 2JZ powered Toyota GT86. Thing is billowing smoke, but already out of the gate, you saw him take out that first front clip. Not for certain if that's a scoreable run or if it's not.
Well, let's take a look at it here. You can see he initiates by breaking the wheels loose the opposite direction, not really going for that weight transfer, and then right there on the inside, he clips through that first inside clip. Now that's where the bigger mistake is made. He's going to continue to drift throughout the entire course, but certainly the judges are going to have to make a call here about whether or not that goes into the realm of incomplete. If he stopped drifting altogether or was just way too far off course, they do have the discretion to be able to make that call. So we'll wait that and figure out whether or not he's going to have to look towards run number 2 in order to qualify.
So Cameron Moore, unfortunately, looks like it gripped up and okay, so we are getting clarification. There will be points awarded to Cameron Moore, and in this scenario that we do have 29 drivers, you just want to get some scores on the board so you can see competition tomorrow. Where you land is obviously the fate is in your hands. But you know, we talk about, you know, the not having 32 drivers. Oh, there we go. Cameron Moore's 58 of 58. I think it's really escalated qualifying, and these guys are really gunning for it. So next up, Nate Hamilton, Little Tex. Made his first top 16 appearance in Orlando. The Njuku Racing S13.4, nice job. Smooth line, you can see him bringing to the front clip and out. Winding up on back home, and solid job by Nate Hamilton. I want to hear what Lantain says and yourself as well.
Well, another driver that has quite a few bright spots in his future for sure, and has these moments where he really excels here is Nate Hamilton. You can see on that initiation, really tries to minimize using the e-brake to use the momentum of the vehicle and the angled vehicle to get into that first inside clip. And then right there, just a tremendous job on that second outer zone, nice and tight on that inside clip. And then Ryan, from your position here, really much to criticize from Nate's. You could see a couple little adjustments coming down the hill, but in terms of just hitting the zones, it seemed like he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did. His angle at outside zone 2 was pretty impressive. He got a really high score for that portion of the track. Maybe could have had a little bit more on outside zone 1. Just as he approached the zone, he kind of had a bit of took a little bit of angle away. And we have a score of 79 for Nate Hamilton. 79.
Don't take my job, Lantain.
You were busy, and I was just filling in and helping you. You're very busy.
I'm spectating. You know, I just sometimes I get jealous of the fans that get to just sit and watch and crank a beer and get to, you know, just watch drifting, right? Like, this is by no means work.
You mean have fun?
I mean, we're having fun, right? Are you not having fun?
Well, it's work, but it's fun. It's not pure fun.
Right, got it. All right, Juha Rintanen, I understand he had some issues with his engine, but they threw another one back in there. The Finnish driver, Juha Rintanen, his S15 SCR racing wheels, brings it into the out zone, does not get all the way out there, really tight into the keyhole, and pulls it on out. Like I said, him and his team, I understand they popped the engine, so they crashed, got another block together, and he is back out there. He'll get some points on the board, but especially notably right here in front of the judges in that horseshoe to get out to the outside zone.
Well, this was something that was brought up quite a bit in the Pro 2 drivers meeting yesterday, is making sure that you're really getting out to that second outer zone and not utilizing this cone right here on the inside, which is supposed to be a marker, a visual marker for coming up the hill as an inside clip. The outside zone are the orange cones, and those green and yellow ones are basically markers in order to give the drivers a visual, especially at nighttime, and the reflective drivers are able to see those a little bit better. But for Juha, have a mistake in the keyhole there, but he will have a full pull and a scored run.
Juha Rintanen with a 70, so actually it's a pretty generous score there, but you take a look at it, 21, 25, 24, so actually kind of, that was a pretty generous score. So you can see Denofa an 88. Denofa with an 88, Hamilton 79, 77. There's your top 3 drivers. Where is Justin Pollock gonna land? Here we go. Falcon Tires Roush Performance. Ford Performance Ford Mustang. Flying up into the horseshoe. See him yank. The weld wheels come to a stop real quick, but just only for a quick blip. Whoa! So, gosh, JTP makes me nervous sometimes when he flicks around. Looks like it's going to come unwound, but ended up holding onto it there.
Well, Justin's one of those drivers that is also not afraid to take a risk, especially on initiation. You can see he pulls some e-brake here, gets a lot of angle in the car, gets back on the throttle right around there. You can see big smoker. And I want to bring you, Ryan, here just to talk about this a little bit as we come up to the hill to the second outer zone here. JTP kind of makes a slight adjustment right there to kind of get the butt of the vehicle into that zone. Looks like he was already there, but is that a little bit of a deduction for you guys, or is that some good driving that you'll kind of let slide?
Angle-wise, he kind of maintained the same angle, so it won't be too bad on that, but maybe on the line side and perhaps on the style side as well, whereas you could put that as a ding against his commitment maybe.
But a good overall run.
Great overall run, great initiation too.
And reflected in a score, an 86. An 86. Lantain, what's the judges, how's it broken down, your criteria, and who's doing what?
Ryan, myself, I'm doing angle.
Okay.
Brian Eggert is doing style, and Andy Yen is doing line.
Okay. Yeah. Just clarifying.
Yeah.
One, son. One. All right, who do we have here? Ryan Sage. Looks like
oh, this is your new nickname.
He's the OG, original Gucci. He keeps it real. Keeps it real in the field. Did you see he's growing facial hair?
I did not.
Hopefully it brings some good luck. He had some bad luck in Orlando. He's not happy with his results so far, but as I said, he is a drifter since 2004, the original year. And look at this, flying in that 2JZ, throwing some more angle at it, taps that cone. Some corrections there. Not exactly the smoothest, but definitely fast. Blazing a trail, more ways than one, back up the hill. OG, original Gucci. Because he always does throw up the dubs, too.
Yeah, he does.
He thinks he's like Mac 10 or something.
Well, a little bit of history. 2 years ago, this event in particular was the breakout event for Ken Gucci. Yep. Had some really great battles against Forsberg, and then just went on an absolute tear. And it ended up being, him down to the wire with Osbo for that championship year. And so this was definitely a turning point for him. Got the wise fat on the car and just basically regained an incredible amount of confidence. And here he's going to get a nice scored run, first run in qualifying, looking to carry that momentum throughout the next few rounds, as we're only 3 rounds into the series, and try to make a chase for it, as Ken is certainly hungry. It's
just crazy. Again, just Atlanta has so many memories over the years, as you said, just as recent as 2005. And 81 for OG Ken Gucci, original Goosh. The Goosh is loose. Next up, looks like, is that Alec Honadell, all the way there at the top of the board, and there it is. Hashtag FDATL, let everybody know you're here in the building or watching around the globe. Again, we moved up, we are live. This is qualifying due to Mother Nature potentially rearing her ugly head later. Early initiation for Honadell. See initiating at that number 2. Cone, flying, well done. The Urban Air S14. Hoonigan necks and tires, look at that, set ablaze. The all-white suit shroud, I like to call him Diddy. He's got all white on, like it's like a Diddy party he got invited to.
Well, Honadell's no doubt a driver we're going to be talking a lot about this year. He certainly has had some really bright moments in the series. Still, to this day, his battle against Forsberg in Montreal last year is one of my all-time favorites. Car was running a little bit lean in Orlando, was struggling with it a little bit, but was able to walk away and keep his head held high, and looking for a good position here at Road Atlanta, and he certainly has the skill and the talent. Just got to get a couple things to fall on the line, and he's going to be right there as one we're going to be talking about making a big dent in the championship.
Yeah, I'd like Alec Honadell's attitude since day one. He's been just an interesting cat, charismatic fella, and an 81 for Mr. Honadell. You always had a tough time saying Alec. You'd always call him Alex. But yeah, I see you fixed that.
Year one was a big problem.
Alec, A. All right, here we go. And this is Jonathan Castro. And if you did not watch Orlando, take a moment out of your day and watch his run in Orlando. As you can see, the Metaldom Toyota GT86 coming in to the horseshoe. You can see him just shimming it into the outside zone, standing back on the throttle. He does run. He's running the 4-cylinder as well, and back up the hill. So good execution by Castro. And like I said, take a moment out of your day if you haven't seen it. Look at Orlando.
Yeah, go to the Network A Facebook or YouTube page, and you'll find probably the best chase run of the year from Jonathan Castro at last round. Just an incredible display of grit and performance, and had to go do some one more times throughout the event, and it was just a really awesome moment for everybody. Super emotional. Caught some great moments with him, with Lorette in the interview, and you can see right here he's going to put himself in a position for the top 32 tomorrow. Nice full pull from him, no major mistakes, and he'll wrap it up and go for run number 2.
And Castro with a 77. A 77 puts him into 7th position. A lot of 7s there on Jonathan Castro's card there. All right, next up, Peter Vincek, Wertas Drift Team, Falcon Tire S15. No matter what, he always gets the pole position. He's Polish. See what I did there? Peter, a little big initiation there, coming into that first front clip. Boom, Peter, Johnny on the spot. Scrubs some speed. You could see the smoke stopping from the back of his vehicle, those Falcon tires. Tightens it up to that second front clip, and now back down the hill. You know, they start up the top, they get down to the valley, then back up. All right, where the red dirt meets the grass and meets the rubber here at Road Atlanta, Peter Vincek.
Well, a lot of the attention has been on James Dean, his teammate, as these two competitors have come over, but Peter certainly is a very, very strong competitor, and I imagine that we're going to see some great things from him this year. You can see right out of the gate a strong performance here in qualifying. We've seen some awesome head-to-head, especially in the last few rounds in practice as well. You can just tell that he's got that X factor, so he's going to be one guy to watch for as he wraps on this last inside clip here. You can see nice snappy transition back around, closes it up, and gets a nice run number 1. It's Peter Vincek.
And Peter's score, an 85. An 85 for Peter Vincek. We are already into our top 13 drivers. Matt Field currently sits 13th in his Falcon Tire Vaptasia Arc Performance Nissan 240SX from San Jose, California. The Beast from the Bay. If you haven't seen already, the Frenemies video. It's featuring that of Odi Bakshis and Matt Field. They're similar looking vehicles, but two very different personalities and very different driving styles. So here we go. Matt Field out of the chicane. Shimmy shake into the first front clip. Keeps it calm, keeps it cool. Big angle there. Oh, buddy. Okay, so he keeps it sideways. Looks like his line was just a little bit off there, but he'll keep it sideways, and he will keep a score on the board, but that got a little hairy there.
I actually think that was a good strategic play for Field, because he could have easily just spun that out and got rid of that run and gone back for run number 2. But given the fact that we are not getting zeros for 2 tires off anymore, he can afford to take a little bit of a deduction here in the line and angle category. You can see right here, big angle in the car, could have spun it out, but right there he's going to just drop that front right tire over that inside clip. He'll get a deduction, but he's going to have a score on the board, and he'll certainly be in top 32, and then he doesn't have to worry about stressing out for run number 2.
Yeah, and I was talking to him at the autograph session, and I was like, hey man, remember last year? Do you remember what happened to him and Farouk? And he just got nasty with it, dude. He just straight rammed Farouk and ended up taking himself out, and that was an unfortunate circumstance. So I said, hey man, keep your calm, keep it calm. He said, yeah, my dad put me in check a little bit. So, you know, you kind of don't want to beat yourself. You know, we've seen those drivers really harness that energy and utilize it to their advantage as Matt Field gets a 79.
Well, I mean, Matt had probably the biggest run last year towards the last 2 rounds of the season, and basically put his stamp on 2016, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of expectations on him. He's certainly a very, very strong contender for the championship. And, you know, got to just take things in steps, and everything will work out fine.
Yeah, he finished so strong. He got Texas and Urbandale in the bag. Here we go. Another driver that is just exciting to watch, and he's just a fun dude off track. Kristaps Blush in the HGK Racing Team BMW, this high horsepower Mass Motorsports Achilles Radial BMW. You can see him working it close. Wants to just use all of the track, and he's doing that. The floating front end. That floating front end move, when you just don't see the back half of the car, it looks like it's just kind of just propelling through the course. So let's take a look at it again. Kristaps Blush.
Well, this blazing fast BMW here, you can see this initiation, grabs some e-brake, and gets right back on the throttle on that inside clip. So he's able to get back on the throttle pretty early there. Now up the hill, smashing the throttle, lifts a little bit right here to get into this second outer zone. Good throttle control, doing it in all the right spots. a little bit too tight on that inside clip, but now coming down the hill here. And Ryan, I just wanted to kind of get some clarification from you guys. What is the allotment in terms of when somebody grabs e-brake on initiation? How long are you guys allowing that to happen as they come down the hill in order to get their positioning for that inside clip and moving up the hill?
I guess what we're looking for is a big snappy initiation like he did, where you can use the e-brake, but then we want you to utilize the momentum of the vehicle at angle to kind of get to inside clip 1. And I think Kristaps did
90
one of the better jobs that we've seen. Yeah,
right.
90. The way he initiated and got on throttle immediately and powered through inside clip 1, if you compare that, I know Field probably made a bit of a mistake on his initiation, but the way he let the car carry out a little bit longer, that was really impressive the way Blues went through inside clip 1 at speed like that.
Blush. I've been saying Blues forever, and then he finally, it is Blush. Okay, all right, might be. Might be Kristaps Blush. He's a great dude. Really, really fun cat. So here we go. Let it enter your body. Here comes Matt Kaufman. The car number 959. Gotta love Matt Kaufman. Big, tall, charismatic fellow. Once you get to know him. Kind of slow crawling into that first front clip there, Ryan. But now hammering down that Ford V8 powered S13. Nexen tires you see being put to good use and abuse. Look at standing. I mean, it doesn't look like he's really flying because his wheel speed is up, but I said it kind of felt a little tentative on initiation, but then he turned it up once he got around that first clip.
Well, I think it was good that we saw Kristaps and now Kaufman here. You can kind of contrast a little bit, whereas Kristaps was right back on throttle. There was already smoke generating through that first inside clip. It took Matt a little bit longer to get back on throttle, and it definitely looked like it slowed him down a little bit. But now coming up the hill, you can see he does a much better job on that second outer zone, very tight on that inside clip. Now coming back down the hill, you can see pretty fluid transition here. He puts angle in the car, keeps it in the car, and then a nice rapid movement back around. So good fluidity, nice line to finish it off.
And Matt Kaufman from Medford, Oregon. Gets an 82, so a great score for him. Like I said, really putting it together. Ryan, what are you drinking? You gave me a sip of that, and I'm like buzzing, man. Like, that's got some power. That's why you get the way you do, huh?
You said you were tired?
Yeah, dude, that is straight lit. All right, here we go. So this is current, or I should say defending 3-time champion, Chris the Force Forsberg. NOS Energy Drink, 370Z on hand-cooked tires. The most recent champion from last year. And here he comes into the first front clip. And now back up the hill into that first rear clipping zone, excuse me, second rear clipping zone, into the horseshoe. Really tight on that front clip. Chris has had some great success over the years here in Atlanta. A lot of these guys favor this track. I don't know if it's on record with Forsberg liking this track the best, but looking good still to not debut that V6 setup. I've seen videos, but he's still back behind the wheel of that VK56 V8 setup.
Well, between him and Vaughn and Gucci, the drivers that have basically been to every single event here ever in its history, we see Chris coming up the hill here. You're going to see he's going to go a little bit long and a little bit also short on that second outer zone. Better job on that inside clip. And then, Ryan, from your perspective here, could you kind of tell what was happening to Chris coming up the hill, why he missed that second outer zone?
Well, he looked a little tentative coming up. He didn't really push as hard as he could have. And that's what a lot of this comes down to. You talked about Kaufman's initiation. It's sort of the same thing. They're walking a really fine line, and if they go a little bit too far in either direction, then it's going to result in being offline, whether it be off in the grass or too far inside on the track.
All right, thank you there. 81, an 81 for Chris Forsberg. Next up, Odi Bakshis. Odi Bakshis, some great finishes over the years and hitting his stride. Here we go. Odi Bakshis, Falcon tires, S14. Field suspension. Into the first front clip. Drifts, wheels go round and up the hill. Nice job by Odi. Yeah, getting all the way out there. You see him kind of looked a little wonky. Seemed twitchy to get it out to that second outer zone. Now transitioning back up the hill. Well done, Odie Bakshis. But Lantana, I want to see what your thoughts were in the horseshoe. Didn't seem the smoothest approach there on that second outer zone. You see him lighting up, yanking on the e-brake. Now back up the hill, but Lantana, notably, again, coming into that second outer zone, watch the corrections.
So you can see the car bobble a little bit there. And like I just said, this is a really tough area to guess how much throttle you need to have up into outside zone 1 to know exactly how far you're going to go to outside zone 2. So when you're coming up the hill and you realize, oh, I lifted a little too early, then you have to make some adjustments to make sure the car gets out to that zone as much as you can. You're better off taking some hits on some corrections than missing the zone.
So an 84 overall, so still a great score for Odie Bakshis. Next up, Dio Shihara. In practice, we saw him get into the kitty litter. Hopefully he can avoid that. He got third place at Orlando, so he wants to better that. He's had some success here before, and another one of the Formula Drift veterans since 2004. So this is year 14 he's been coming here and competing, and he's in one beast of a car, the turbocharged LS. Turn 14 distribution, Subaru BRZ on Falcon tires. Here comes Dio Shihara down the hill. See him lighten up. Hearing those tires barking there, turns on the smoke machine. You see him just blip it and just create a plume of smoke. So not all the way out to the outside zone. He has McLeod on the doors, and there's a McLeod in the air. Nice job. So leaving some points there as far as line. You saw him didn't get all the way out to that second outer zone. Let's take a look at it again. You see him right here, initiate. They got a lot of e-brake, and then bam. You know, we were looking at Christophe Blues, and he's just kind of a unit of measure right now. Lantana.
Yeah, so as you saw Di coming up the hill, these cars have so much grip. That's, I think, what some people don't realize is how grippy they really are. He lifted off the throttle, and you think, oh, he's going to carry out to outside zone 2, but no, the car gripped up, and he ended up not making it out all the way to the zone, as I'm sure he intended to.
75. A 75 for Dio Shihara. All right, so Alex Hilbrun from Lima, Peru, Inca Madness Racing, RTS, Nitto Tires, BMW. And Alex Hilbrun seeing some great success. He got on the podium at round 1. Now living in Orange County, California. And here he comes, down the hill, throws it in, gets out to the outside rumble strip. You see knocking over that number 1 cone. Up the hill. Car it's got a lot of lean here, as you can see him bogging down, now exiting out of the horseshoe. Judges want to see him keeping it tight there, and now transitioning back to that final front flip. Well done there by Alex Hilbrun.
Well, Alex Hilbrun, certainly another driver that is one to talk about this year. Some strong performances at the first part of the year. You can see just kind of overshoots it a little bit, almost gets near that kitty litter. Kind of a few adjustments coming up the hill here with those front 2 wheels, but no doubt one of the best chase drivers in the series, and certainly has got a lot of momentum on his side with the favorable performances that he's had, and looking to back that up here at Road Atlanta, one of the more challenging tracks in the series.
'76 is 76 for Alex Hilbrun. Alex Hilbrun currently sitting 7th coming into this round of competition. Next up, Dean Carnage Carney, Oracle Lighting, Achilles Radial, Dodge Viper. He's on Gas Monkey Energy on his helmet. So currently sitting 6th. Let's see how Dean throws down. See many Vipers here over the years, and Dean really getting this thing figured out. And he is I say that. And you saw some corrections from his front wheels to get it around that first front clip. Now into the outer zone. Ooh, Dean. Ooh, you can hear that exhaust note. I mean, the car's going in the right places, but you can hear the exhaust note. The smoke signal is off and on now. He's just kicking it right up the hill. But, you know, right when he came to that second zone, you saw him really bogged down. But like I said, he put the car in the right places.
Great performance from Dean in Orlando, trying to back that up here in Orlando. You can see he gets a bit of e-brake pull there, and he's going to get on the throttle just a bit past that first inside clip. You remember Ryan Lentine talking about Christophe Bluch, how he was on the throttle right through that first inside clip, and that really made a big difference for him. Here on that second outer zone, you can see he does a much better job there, pretty nice and tight on that inside clip. Then back down the hill here. Great throttle, big smoke line. He's right in the center section of the course. Good snappy transition back. And going down the hill, he did a pretty fine job there, is Dean Kearney.
And Dean awaiting for his score. We are now into our top 5 drivers. Each driver will have a second qualifying run. This is the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship. And Dean scores a 77, puts him into 14th position. So fortunately, every driver has seen a score. We have not seen an incomplete, outside of Robin Ishida. That's the only driver, unfortunately. But top 5 drivers now. Vaughn Gittin Jr., former Formula Drift champion. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Monster Energy, Nitto Tire, Ford Performance, Mustang, RTR Motorsports team. Here we go, out of the chicane. And this thing, and Chelsea Denofa's car is set up obviously by the same team. So it's got a very unique setup. You'll see him hit 3 wheels, really lift whatever corner is up. Look at that thing. I mean, it is ripping that front right, not even touching the ground. Jimping, squatting, bullfrogging its way. Takes out that front clip. But does exactly what it needs to do. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Formula Drift vet, throwing it down. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. puts down a solid run. Like I said, it's now become his signature style.
Well, we put out a poll of the top 10 drivers. Who do you think was going to qualify number 1? Vaughn Gittin Jr. came in number 1 with about 27% of the vote.
Really?
Yeah, Frederick Oswald was second, James Dean third, Forsberg fourth, and that vote is still going on, so check it out there. But obviously Vaughn has had a lot of success here at this track. He knows it very, very well. Some great moments here, especially with Frederick Oswald in the rain a few years back, if you remember that one. And you can see Vaughn starting off pretty strong there. He'll have one more run to go, but comes in nice and high at a 90.
A 90 for Vaughn Gittin Jr. Currently puts him in second position, so not number 1 qualifier. And again, there's still another run. So right now it is Christophe Bluch who has a 90 as well. But so again, where they land after second run is going to really decide. And you know, Michael Essa could step up as well. Again, we saw him on the podium earlier this year, and here comes Essa, Achilles Radial, Achilles Tire, Essa Autosports, BMW. Aria, his daughter, here in the building wearing a matching race suit like father, like daughter. Doesn't get all the way out to the outer zone. Maintains good angle, good smoke, exciting run. Going to be a good score, but not totally all the way out there.
Well, Michael Essa definitely brought his name back into the discussion after his strong performance the last round in Orlando, the 2013 champ, looking to carry that great result here into Road Atlanta. You can see big angle from the onset. And one thing that has really made Michael Essa stand out is just the incredible amount of wheel speed generated and the smoke there, and just the fine tuning and the control that he has. Now he's going to come up a little bit short on that second outer zone, but back down the hill here, he locks back into a pretty solid line, stays tight on that last inside clip and full throttle all the way through the finish line.
We are now into the top 3 drivers as Essa, a 90. So again, kind of surprised. I mean, line of 30, so he does leave from 5 points there. So 30, 31, and 29 overall. So a big score there. So here is, again, currently 3rd overall in his Gum Out Nameless Performance. Hankook Tires, Toyota Racing 86. From Auburn, New Hampshire, Ryan Turk. Ryan Turk creating some cool videos with the Donut Media crew. And now throwing in, getting into that rumble strip. You saw that 50-52 wheel get into the dirt, almost a rumble strip. Really working it out. Putting that thing through the paces. Black Magic Intense tire wet out of the horseshoe. Standing on throttle, good, consistent. You hear that exhaust note. You know, no sputtering. You know, it's got the anti-lag setup on his 2JZ engine. But Ryan?
Yeah, I wanted to bring Ryan in here just from the beginning here. On the initiation, you can see he tries to go for a pretty aggressive one, and it pulls a little bit of angle out of the car there. You mentioned and you talked a lot about how important the initiation was in locking into that angle. Did you see anything from Ryan there that he can improve on run number 2?
Well, I heard Brian Eggert, the style judge, go, ooh, what happened to his initiation? And it looked like what happened is the right rear wheel went into that dip right before the rumble strip and kind of upset his car, and he did have to take a little bit of angle out. It looked like it was going to be a really aggressive, solid initiation, but I think that kind of took away from it a little bit. Other than that, his angle was pretty strong, especially up here in the horseshoe.
Yeah, I liked it through the rest of the course, but yeah, you saw him dip that tire on initiation as we are now into, again, 2 more drivers left. One from Ireland and one from Norway. Ryan Turk with a 77, seems to be a popular score, a 77 for Ryan Turk. And now James Dean, not the late actor, but a drifter making a name for himself. James Dean kicking things off in Long Beach by getting that victory, and believe the hype, he's the truth. James Dean out for blood, throws it in. You see some, ooh, and what happened there? That was unlike what we've seen James Dean before. Way off. So the car potentially not 100%, or did James Dean have kind of a mental lapse? So right out of the gate, you saw the brown smoke being kicked up, means he gets into the dirt. So let's look at this again here. I know the judges are looking intently. So watch right here. You see him transition back. No, it looked like he didn't get into the dirt. You see a large e-brake, and he was saving himself going off course there. So he did keep it sideways, but quite a big bulk there. Sage, your assessment there looking at that run?
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like a mistake, a little bit of an unforced error there on his part, and you know, the judges are scoring it, so he's going to get some points on the board. But yeah, like you said, very un-James Deanian.
Deanian, that's good. Yeah, that makes sense. Un-Deanian. So James Dean awaits his score. He will receive one. We have one more driver left of their first qualifying run, and that is our current points leader and former Formula Drift champion, Fredrik Aasbo, Norwegian Hammer. And there's James Dean's score, a 66. So you see 22, 23, 21, accumulating to a 66 for James Dean. Last but not least, again, this is run 1. We'll start from the bottom of the order after this. And so Fredrik Aasbo. So you can see our leaderboard right now, 90, 90, 90, 88. So look at the 2 Mustangs there, 3 and 4. Actually, 3, 4, and 5. You got 3 Mustangs in the mix. Here comes Fredrik Aasbo, Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla IM, the hatchback. Getting up into the horseshoe, nice job. Doesn't get all the way out there. And through that final front clip. So Aasbo leaving some points on the board. Wasn't exemplary. Will that be a 90? I mean, we've seen some scores that I'm kind of surprised at.
Well, Aasbo has certainly made the story this year so far about what he's been able to do and what his team's been able to do with that vehicle. Coming out very strong in Orlando. He's back on top. He plays a really good game, and he looks strong right here on his first run out. He's going to try to keep that lead protected. You can see that snappy transition back. It's amazing what they've been able to do with that vehicle, and going up against these guys that have these really high horsepower V8s and twin turbos. Aasbo's team has really done what's needed, and he'll tell you he was even surprised himself. He didn't think that they were going to be there, and certainly right now he's doing what he needs to do.
88 and 88 for Fredrik Aasbo. So we're going to take a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll continue here the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship. This is round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. When we return, the second run for all of our pro drivers when we return here to Road Atlanta.
This presentation of Formula Drift has been brought to you by Blackview, Over the Cloud, Nexen Tire, Driving Tomorrow, Nitto Tire, fueled by enthusiasts. Advance Auto Parts, let's get you back on the road.
When I was a kid, I wanted to touch the skies.
I wanted to invent things.
I wanted to protect others.
I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to make a difference.
I knew that one day I would be the difference.
I am a special missions aviator.
Clinical nurse.
Pararescueman.
I'm Captain Chris Niels, and we are American Airmen.
See more at airforce.com.
When you love your car, you wish you could check on it anytime, from anywhere. Blackview cloud-connected dash cams let you do just that. Your Blackview keeps you informed of status changes through alert messages. So when something unusual happens to your car, you can visualize it on your phone with remote live view and stop worrying. Blackview over the cloud. Me and my car connected. Find yours at blackview.com.
You know, at Advance Auto Parts, we have some of the most knowledgeable and helpful people working in our stores. We just thought you should know. Because buying online and picking up your part at the local Advance Auto Parts store is so easy that, well, the most they may get to say to you is, "Hi, here's your part." It's a shame, really. Buy online, pick up in store in 30 minutes. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road.
Welcome back here to the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship. We are about to continue with qualifying, the second run for all of our drivers. And then second run for all of our drivers. Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship. This is round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. I'm Jared Dienda, Brian Sage, my co-host, and Ryan Lontaine joining the conversation, giving some insight for our 3 judges, who are Ryan Lontaine, Brian Eggert, and Andy Yen. Did I say that right? Andy Yen, is it? Okay, just want to make sure. Yen can cook? Yen you can. Can do it? Yen you can. Brian Sage eating some Jolly Beans. Contrary to popular belief, he only eats Jolly Beans, not jelly beans. Here we go, Taylor Hull from Georgia. How's he gonna do it? Throw it down here on his second run. Throws it in hard with the vengeance. Nice job by Hull. Yeah, powering up. Oh, man, Oshevitz. Oh, hey. That unfortunately will be an incomplete run for Taylor Hull on his second run. He did get a score on the board on his first run. So Taylor Hull, as I said, an incomplete run on his second run. Yeah, man. Yeah, Ryan Sage just brought to my attention, do or die, or do or Robbie. That's not Daijiro, that's Robbie. See what I did there? That's what we say about Daijiro Yoshihara. Robbie Bushido Blade Nishida debuts his new GTR, and he is ready to do battle with this track. Jerry Yang Racing, Achilles Radial. Sending Robbie Nishida. Come on, Robbie, get a score on the board. Just get points on it. Get that thing down for head-to-head competition. Here comes Nishida. Checks it up into the first front clip. No pressure, Robbie. Up the hill. Powering through. Keep it between the lines. And he does that. That's where he went off course last time, so it's past the point of no return. See some corrections from those front wheels. Holding on here. Now back up the hill. I've been quoted as saying not the prettiest here before, and I'll go and say it again. It wasn't the prettiest, but it gets the job done in this instance.
Yeah, there was a little sense of anxiety there.
Yeah.
You know, a few mistakes by Robbie that could have been those the beginning of mistakes, like right there, that could have led to, you know, an incomplete going up the hill here, coming up with some big angle, and then had to get back into it here. He's going to be tight on this inside clip, runs right over that center section where that white line is and where it meets the grass, and then right there goes a little bit long. But he will get a score on the board, and that's the most important thing. He'll make it into tomorrow's competition, and he'll have all day today in practice once this session gets over to dial in the car anymore, and tomorrow, so should be chill.
Keeping it chill, keeping it real in the fields. Robbie Nishida. DJ Durf on the ones and twos. Robbie Nishida with a 60, keeping it real chill. Again, the no-shaved look, both him and Goosh throwing it down. And it is Kyle Mohan, built to Apex, Mazda Tricks, Kyle Mohan Racing, MX-5 from Long Beach, California. What do we got? Mohan. Cool hand Mohan. Here comes Mohan down the hill. Show him your winkle. Pops it past the first front clip. Up the hill. Big angle there. Nice job with the Nexen tires. Hear him kind of on and off the throttle. Like to him. There we go. That's nice. Clean, consistent. So Mohan, does he better his first score?
Well, the first score came in at a 68, so he's looking to better that, and it does seem like Kyle is finding some greater comfort in the vehicle as these runs go through. You can see he does a nice job on that first inside clip, gets back on the throttle pretty shortly after there. You can hear the car coming up the hill, trying to use that momentum and the angle to get himself into that second outer zone. Kind of straight lines it a little bit to that second inside clip, but now coming back down the hill here, you can see he's just kind of cutting up the course a tiny bit here. He does seem to be a little bit more fluid, but he is looking to better that 68. He will be into tomorrow's competition.
And there is Mohan's score. Identical score, a 68. Once again there for Mohan, a 68 on his second score, puts him into the 24th qualifying position. DJ Jazzy Jones. DJ Jazzy Jeff Jones is foregoing his second qualifying run. He does have a score on the board, so he's going to park it, and we'll see him tomorrow in head-to-head where he lands. We'll not decide, but we'll find out eventually. Pat Gooden, Huddy Racing, Pennzoil, Black Magic, S13. On Hankook tires, past that front clip and takes it out. You can see him knocking it over. You can hear the car hitting the rumble strips. And through the keyhole, threading the needle. Like what Pat's doing here. Ryan, what kind of score did we see from Gooden on that first run? 77. Gave me the official hand signal for 77.
So let's take a look at Pat's run number 2. Initiates just past that second standing cone. You can see he's back on the throttle, but a little bit tight on that inside clip. Does run over the rumble strip. Now coming up the hill here, off the throttle, aiming for this outer zone, using the momentum of the car as he comes into this second inside clip here. Nice job by Pat. Now coming down the hill, back on the throttle. Nice smooth movement here, nice snappy transition back around to that final inside clip. And on the face of it, it does seem to be a pretty solid run there for Pat Gooden, looking to better that 77.
82, and 82 for Pat Gooden. All right, so Pat Gooden throwing it down. You can see, look at the 90s up there. And as I said, you got Osbo, Denofa. All right, so Essa is actually our number 1 qualifier as corrected there. So right now, Dan Burkett, Rad Dan. Great looking car. It's good to see a Super in the mix. We have a Super and Pro 2 as well. Dan Burkett, ooh, big yank of the brake. The awesome handle getting worked out now. And I got to tell you, Ryan, from Long Beach to Orlando to here, looks like he's really finding a happy place. His relationship between him and the car. The car looks a lot more settled. Looks like he's getting more and more down.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He certainly looks like he belongs here, and he's continuing to prove that run by run as he starts off here with a nice early initiation. Nice and tight on that first inside clip. You can see it. He fluidly passes that first inside clip, stays on the throttle, now moves up the hill here. It makes a little bit of a bobble here as he goes a little bit long into that second outer zone. Has to make an adjustment there, but just a slight deviation from the proper line there. And then now back down the hill on that last inside clip. Makes it up down here. Looking to better. A 76 is Dan Burkett.
What do you think? Think he betters it?
I'm going to say it's...
Where's the ROM? 82?
Yeah.
All right. It's good because, you know, I mean, everybody thinks that we just make up the scores, so, you know.
I got to type it in right now.
Yeah, hold on. 82. I think it's going to be an 82. All right, so an 82 for Dan Burkett. He betters his first run, so kudos to him. Chelsea Denofa. Denofa currently sitting 5th. Can he better an 88? I know he's going to go for it. He wants to get one of those top spots because right now, you know, the top, what is it, 30, 31, 32, 3. The top 3 drivers will get a bye run. That means they'll go from here to the 16th. You flying, look at that. Yeah, buddy. Say how to Get Rowdy. He's doing just that. Leaving it all out here on the track. You got to wonder, is Chelsea Denofa having fun driving these Mustangs or what? Man, what do you say? Do you think he's having fun out there in that car?
Well, I mean, I think, would anybody argue with the idea that nobody drives more aggressive than Chelsea Denofa right now? I mean, look at this initiation. He barely an e-brake pull. He lets the car flow down right in. He's immediately back on the throttle. You can see massive throttle here. He makes a little bit of a mistake on the line and has to make an adjustment here. But, I mean, these are all the kind of mistakes that you want to make when you're basically, you know, going at the limit. I mean, this is driving at its limit right here. Big smoke cloud back down the hill. Snappy transition. I mean, he's got an 88 so far. He's in a great position here. He's trying to move up and wants to get into those 90s. And Denofa looks to be on fire here at Road Atlanta.
All right, so Denofa, can he better that 88? Does he jump up? As I said, right now, unofficially, 29 drivers. So that means 30, 31, 32. That's 3 spots. So no, he does not. An 86 on his second run. So he does not get one of those spots. But currently sitting 5th. And Cameron Moore, he did get a score on his first run. Ryan, what was his, looks like a 58? 58 on his first score. The Butcher. So Butcher during the week and a killer on the track at night. Debuted his new race suit. Did you see his race suit, Cameron Moore's? So you can see the livery, the graphics. He's got a big butcher knife, kind of blood. His race suit is like a white apron with blood all over it. It's pretty savage. It's pretty dope. Very fitting here in Atlanta as we're, you know, Walking Dead is filmed here. Did you know that?
Interesting.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. All right, so we got a little bit of a cleanup here as Chelsea brought on some rocks and some dirt. So just want to make sure it's ideal for Moore. Give me some Mo. Thanks for joining us out here. Hashtag FDATL. So Ryan, take a look at the Doppler. What do we got going on here as far as weather?
Well, it looks like we will be okay for this second lap of qualifying here. The rain seems to be coming in around 7:15 or so, and at that point we'll have practice until the end of the session, open practice, and I think that'll be really good for these pro drivers because there's a possibility there may be some wet conditions during top 32 tomorrow. So it gives them an opportunity not only to have practice in a dry session, but also a wet session, and we've seen what can happen when it gets wet here, so I think that'll be well deserved, and we most likely will achieve the goal of getting qualifying done in dry sessions. But we will be live streaming all the way through, and then we've got Pro 2 tonight, and that will more than likely be in mostly wet conditions, so that'll be a big challenge for them as those guys head into round number 2 of their championship. And if you guys are watching on the live stream at home, or you're watching on sports on their Facebook channels, make sure you give us comments about what you're watching and leave some notes for us. Let us know how the experience is. But we're going to be live streaming both Pro and Pro 2 here tonight. Pro 2 will finish up, and we'll find out who's taking the lead in the championship.
Yeah, it's been an exciting one. I got to say, Pro 2 has just really stepped up tremendously. Our #1 qualifier, Danny George, jumped up, quite a contrast from where he was in Orlando to where he is here in Atlanta. And surprisingly, Kevin Lawrence, our winner from round 1, didn't qualify. So, you know, talking about changing of the guards and the wind change. So, is pretty crazy. So Pro 2 is going to be very exciting. So you can see our top 5, our leaderboard right there, and now Cameron Moore. Cameron Moore on his second qualifying run. Let's see what he can throw down. His car, like I said, didn't seem 100% on his first run. Maybe driver error, but right now he's trying to prove himself and prove to the judges that he is worthy. You see some attitude of the car change. The Nexen tires blazing out of the horseshoe now. A lot more poised here from Cameron Moore. I like it. Good run, but as I said, on approaching that first outside clipping zone, you saw some shimming. Let's take a look at it again here.
Well, he only needs the better of 58, so he has a low bar here to pass through. And remember, he made that big mistake on initiation last time around on that first inside clip. This time he doesn't make that mistake, but you can see he pulls some angle out of the car here coming up the hill. And then he goes a little bit too early on that second outside zone. Better job on the second inside clip. Now back down the hill here. You can see he's navigating through this smoke line of his own that he created. Better transition right there and through that last inside clip.
And Cameron Moore awaiting his score. As you can see, clouds filling the sky and on the track, a 76. So considerable bettering, but look at that, even a 76 still puts him in 21st position. So, you know, we're seeing some great scores here from the drivers, and we will be seeing 29 vehicles, all who entered. So Hamilton up next in Juku Racing. S13.4, Little Tex, now living in Florida. So on top 16 in Orlando, transitioning through, hung it out there quite a bit. Now into that second outer zone, working the whole course. Nice job working the wheel back. And the BC Racing coilover is being put to the test here. Let's see what we got. Flicks it back around that final clip. And there's Little Tex, Nate Hamilton. Ryan Sage, what was Hamilton's first score?
Well, Hamilton is on a 79 right now, so he's looking to better that. And this second run will be important for anybody else that has a 79 because the tiebreakers are broken by the higher of the second score. And so Nate Hamilton, if he can better that 79, puts himself into a good position here. You can see not a lot of angled driving up the hill there, but he is able to get into that second outer zone, fill it completely. He does a pretty decent job on that second inside clip. Now coming back down the hill here. Transitioning to this final inside clip, stays tight there, and finishes up the run for run number 2 for Nate Hamilton.
And he does better, an 81. An 81 for Hamilton. Little Tex, car number 144. Nate Hamilton, an 81. Juha Rintanen, STR Racing wheels. On this S15 Silvia from Finland, Juha Rintanen. Talking to his spotter and his mechanic. Again, they had some issues with their engine, so hats off to him and his team for working hard, getting it back on the dyno. He's claiming basically with that 2J setup, about 1,000 horsepower, detuned it to about 850 is what they're thinking. This is what they dynoed at. And now into the first front clip. Nice job by Juha. And now into the horseshoe. Great job on that first outer zone. Ooh. Flicks it around. And outside, you can hear him almost falling out of gear there, it sounded like. And Rintanen back up the hill. Seemed a lot more comfortable there on that second run. Maybe nerves potentially getting the best of on the first run. As the The judges taking a look. I could see Lontaine. Juha's run here, Ryan. Your assessment, Lontaine.
He might not like the score I gave him for angle.
Really?
Put it that way. Coming up the hill, not a lot of angle at outside zone 1.
Yeah.
Got to outside zone 2 with a little bit of angle and then tried to kick it out. Even at the finish line when he was approaching inside clip 3, he didn't have a whole lot, and you could hear a clutch kick there, and then the car kind of kicked out to a little bit more angle, but could have been definitely better on the angle side of things.
So he does better his first score by 1 point, so his position currently 23rd with a 71 on his second run. His first score, a 70. JTP, Justin Pollock, Roush Performance, Falcon Tires, Ford Mustang. And here comes Justin Pollock. Whoa, big, nasty initiation. Nice shot by Pollock. All or nothing right now for JTP. Gets to the outside zone. Just about a tire length. He reinitiates. You heard him bog down. You saw the attitude of the car. Scrubbed some speed. And now back up the hill. And here it is, Justin Pollock once again. Taking a look at it. Initiate. I love that initiation. You see just rolling into it. Really putting it together, but right here in that second outer zone, you see him bog, but he stays back on it. I mean, there's a quick hesitation. And now back up the hill. All right, so let's see what Justin Pollock got here. And an 86 on his first run, as 80 on his second. So definitely an exciting run, but still puts him in sixth position because, again, his first score was an 86. He got an 80 on his second run. The first run of the two is the better, so keeps him in sixth. All right, so Essa, Blues, Vaughn Gittin Jr. all have a 90, and right now, Ken Gushi. Ken Gushi has an 81 on his first run. I have a feeling he's going to throw it down. Ken Gushi has something to prove to him and his team, and of course to his fans. Oh! You saw him throw it out there. It seemed like the car gripped up. He was making some corrections to get it around that first front clip, and now you can see him pouring it on. Oh, big angle here. A correction from that Toyota 86. And out of the keyhole goes Goosh. So choppy in portions of the track. Still exciting, but definitely some mistakes out there on the track from the Goosh OG, original Gushi. So you see this, throw it in. As you watch this run, Ken Gushi had a few mistakes here and there.
He did, yeah. It looked like he was trying to throw it out and be aggressive. Right here, he almost spun, and then ended up having to tighten his lineup, take away some angle, and went really wide on inside clip 2. And then it threw him off for the rest of the run. Even through the finish line here, you can see a very low amount of angle over the finish line. So definitely made some mistakes. I think the initiation maybe threw him off right at the beginning.
Yeah, it seemed like the car just gripped up, and you saw his front wheels just kind of flopping around. So Ken Gushi with a 68 on his second run, and 81 his first score is the better of the two. Currently in 15th position. All right, so next up, Alec Honadell. Alec Honadell into that first front flip as clouds still hanging out here from Ken Gushi's vehicle. The Nexen tire smoke being contributed by the Nexen tire vehicle of Alec Honadell. The Urban Air, fixyourfuel.com. Juku Racing S14. Alec, great exhaust note. You can see how consistent he is all the way through. Great execution there by Alec Honadell. Look at this again, watch him here. Boom, throws it straight line. A lot of e-brake there, but then gets off it. Look at that, consistent, just good, fluid momentum. Up the hill. I mean, just never lifting. You can see that smoke signal saying that he is on the throttle. That's a great execution there, Montaigne.
Yeah, I really liked his angle through the horseshoe, the outside zone 2. Really poured on a lot of angle through there. And then, like you said, stayed on the throttle really consistently.
So an 86, puts him into 6th position. An 86, it does better his first score, which was an 81. So an 86 on his second run. Jonathan Castro. Jonathan Castro on his first run had a 77 for Castro. I know he wants to better it. The Jardu Meteldam Toyota Racing Toyota 86 on Nexen tires. Coming down the hill, initiates. Doesn't get out to the rumble strip, but tight to that front clip. Coming up the hill. Well done by Castro. Nothing big, like fat, nasty, like initiation, but fluid through the course. Very good fluidity all the way through. Minimal wavering. You didn't see a lot of front tire, corrections, kind of flicking back and forth. Let's take a look at it again. So just buttery smooth here from Castro.
Yeah, so when we say we like to see a car look settled through a course, this is a good example of a car that looks settled. No big corrections. Like you said, nothing crazy, but really nothing bad either. It was a smooth run. He hit most of his points, just a little off here and there. So overall, a pretty smooth run. Good throttle commitment all the way through. And put the car where it needed to be overall.
Yeah. Like I said, that X factor didn't have like a big holy cow like his battle in Orlando, but an 83. So a good, clean, tidy score. But gets him up in the mix. He's now currently in the top 10. He's in that number 10 position. So a good execution there from Jonathan Castro. Peter Vincic on the start line. Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires. Coming to us from Poland. Plaque, Poland, to be exact. Whoa, really getting into the dirt. Oh, buddy. And he lost the tire. That back, did he? Yeah, that back right he debeated. So unfortunately, that will be an incomplete run for Peter Vincic, but fortunately for him, he did have an 85, so that's a good score. So we're gonna get Peter Vincic off the course here. Looked like he exploded that back blister as well. Let's take a look at it again here.
Yeah,
initiates.
You dropped that tire in there, and you hit
bam.
the beginning of the rumble strip. It's going to make a mess, which it did. You could hear the wheels scraping on the way down the hill afterwards. And he did drop a bunch of pieces right here as he went into the gravel trap.
Right meow.
Right meow.
In the kitty litter, see? Cat jokes.
Yeah, so that was getting deeper and deeper yesterday through Pro 2 qualifying.
Yeah.
And a couple of guys had that issue where they went in there and kind of upset their car.
Right.
This did a little bit more than upset it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that really just ruffled its feathers and peed in his Cheerios, as you could say. So unfortunately for Peter Vincic, the Wordhouse Falcon Tires, but unfortunately that is a incomplete run, but run 1 will stand to be the better of the 2. That's an 85 on his first score. So we are, again, we'll clean it up. When we come back, we'll continue here with the second qualifying run here at Road Atlanta.
Limits are meant to be pushed. It's the only way progress is made. Some prefer to pace themselves. But I choose to floor it. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
Welcome back. The track is clear, so making quick work there of Peter Vinsix's vehicle. He went off under his own power, but just minus some body parts and, of course, a tire. So, and here we go. We are seeing Matt Field, the Beast from the Bay, 777, Falcon Tires, Vaptasia, Black Tracks Performance is S14.5. This is Matt Field. ARC Performance as well on the vehicle. Check out his video series, Frenemies, with him and his Falcon Tire teammate and competitor. And here we go. Matt Field throws it in. Whoa, buddy, big angle there. You see the smoke signal turn off and then turn back on as he hits the throttle, whacks the throttle into that second rear zone. And brings it on through, nice job. And the first becomes the last. Front clipping point. Matt Field just harnessing that beast. That is his vehicle. Taking a look at it again here. Get Lantain. Get some insight from him. Do you think he bit off more than he could chew there on that initiation, or did you like that, or what's your assessment?
Yeah, we all kind of went, whoa, that was really good. It was fun. Snappy, you got to angle pretty quick. Now that it's starting to rain a little bit, we were a little worried that he might have thrown it in a little too hard, but it hold up, got through there. The angle was great through the rest of the track as well. Really committed on throttle, looked pretty smooth, so we'll see what kind of score. He got a pretty high one on angle from me, so we'll see what it all adds up to.
But it seems like you guys are favoring like when somebody throws it in and stays on it, like we, Blush is just the one that comes to mind. It seemed that he kind of like lifted, and then you saw the smoke kind of kick back up. Again, smoke's not an indicator or a criteria, but it's a telltale sign.
Yeah, for sure. And from the angle side,
an 89.
Yeah, from the angle side of things, it's not affected too much, which I'm judging. So, the style side might be affected more by that. Right. In terms of the commitment and throttle application.
All right, so an 89 there. So
that's a 10-point jump from his previous run.
Thank you. Yeah, 10-point jump. So here we're seeing Essa, Blush, Gittin, Field, Osbo. There's your top 5. Remember, top 3 are getting an automatic bye into the top 16. So Blush wants to hold on to that spot, and there is, as we said, the moisture is coming down. We're seeing fans pull out their umbrellas. And this is a game changer. So fortunately, we did see dry runs from all the drivers. They did get their #1 qualifying run. Everybody does have a score, so 29 drivers will see competition tomorrow and head-to-head. But right now, it looks like Kristaps in his HGK Mass Motorsports throws it in, and slippery when wet, as Bon Jovi says, and unfortunately goes into the kitty litter. And the Latvian driver sits stranded. We'll get him out of there. So again, the moisture comes down. Kristaps goes in. Only a few more drivers left, and again, they will be seeing practice later. So fortunately for them, they do have a score. When we come back, we'll continue here with qualifying as we get Kristaps Blush, the HGK BMW, off the track. But again, his first score was a 90. So he's sitting in one of those top 3 coveted spots. But can another driver better when we return here to Road Atlanta?
When I was a kid, I wanted to touch the skies.
I wanted to invent things.
I wanted to protect others.
I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to make a difference.
I knew that one day I would be the difference.
I am a special missions aviator.
Clinical nurse.
Pararescueman.
I'm Captain Chris Niels, and we are American Airmen.
See more at airforce.com.
When you love your car, you wish you could check on it anytime, from anywhere. Blackview cloud-connected dash cams let you do just that. Your Blackview keeps you informed of status changes through alert messages. So when something unusual happens to your car, you can visualize it on your phone with remote live view and stop worrying. Blackview over the cloud. Me and my car connected. Find yours at blackview.com.
You know, at Advance Auto Parts, we have some of the most knowledgeable and helpful people working in our stores. We just thought you should know. Because buying online and picking up your part at the local Advance Auto Parts store is so easy that, well, the most they may get to say to you is, "Hi, here's your part." It's a shame, really. Buy online, pick up in store in 30 minutes. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road.
Shooting. Desert. Short course. The one-stop shop for all your adrenaline needs.
Limits are meant to be pushed. It's the only way progress is made. Some prefer to pace themselves. But I choose to floor it. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Turk, formerly drift driver of the Gumout Nameless Performance GT86. This is our 1,000 horsepower inline 6-cylinder engine. To be able to sustain that amount of power for an entire season, you need quality parts and a very quality team to support your effort. That's one of the biggest things that Gumout and I have in common. They use quality ingredients that are proven and tested in a lab, just like our race car is proven and tested on the track. Science in, performance out. It's more than just their tagline. Find out for yourself and pick up a bottle of Gumout today.
Welcome back. We are here at Road Atlanta. This is the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship, and the road has already seen 2 rounds, but here we are on this iconic track 14 years ago, 2004. Formula Drift made its debut to the world, and now look at where we're at. We get drivers from Oregon. We got that from Medford, Oregon, Matt Kaufman. Ford V8 powered S13 going in. You can see there's smoke coming off the car still, so coming in hot. A lot of e-brake there from Kaufman. Really whomping on that thing up into the horseshoe. I think he thought there'd be less grip there. Angle-wise, tight there. Big flick around that final front clip.
Well, Matt Kaufman already has a pretty solid score here, Jared, of an 82, so he's looking to better that. You can see coming down the hill here, a little bit of tentative on initiation. Big e-brake pull here on that first inside clip. Now you mentioned the mistake coming up the hill into the horseshoe here. It's going to be right here. The front tire is going to wash out just a little bit, but it looks like the judges are giving him a score there, so that will be just a bigger mistake as he hits that zone coming down the hill here on this final inside clip. So Matt Kaufman sitting on an 82 currently, trying to move up the ranks.
I was born into it. Matt Kaufman with a 79 on his second score, an 82 on his first, stands to be the better of the two. Currently in the number 12 position. Now we're in our final top 10 drivers. Ranked 10th coming to this round of competition, Chris "The Force" Forsberg. Number 64, 3 championships, the most podiums of any driver in Formula Drift history. He is your defending champion of the NOS Energy Drink, hand-cooked tires, 370Z. Still running the VK56, but hasn't hurt him too much, as he knew the developmental program of the twin-turbo V6 would take some time. They want to get it dialed. Here we go on the second qualifying run. Stands on it. See the attitude of the car, getting some disruption there. Now into, and shutting her down. So unfortunately for Forsberg, that will be an incomplete run there on his second run. He's just going to head towards the pits, I assume. And yes, that is the case. So unfortunately for Forsberg on a second run, that is incomplete, but Ryan, he did have a score on his first run.
Yeah, not the score that I'm sure that he wanted to end up with. He has an 81 on run number 1. And so he will have to stick with that as we move on to our next driver here.
All right, so again, now into currently sitting 9th in the championship, Odie Bakshis. And Bakshis does have a score on the board, trying to wait for the ticker here to see where he stands. Actually, I misquoted here. It's actually 28 drivers. 28 drivers, so the top 4 drivers will get buys. And Bakshis is currently 10th. As far as standings, or excuse me, as far as current qualifying. And here comes Odie Bakshis, Falcon tires, S14, drifts, wheels, field suspension, and the signature teal and blue. Here comes Bakshis. Ooh, and you can hear the car kind of hesitating, getting out to that angle. Into that second outer zone. Tight to that, nice job on the keyhole. Now bringing it down around that final clip. Well done by Bakshis.
So Odie Bakshis, a score of 84, looking to better that. You can see starts off right there on that second standing cone, has a little bit of trouble coming through that inside clip on initiation. Tons of throttle up the hill here as he shoots for this second outer zone. It's a tiny bit wonky, but is able to fill that zone completely there, and then nice and tight on that inside clip. Trying to better that 84 as he wraps around this final turn here. Points it in the right direction. Hits that final inside clip and through the finish line, Odi Bakshis goes. Currently in 9th place right now.
And an 84 on his first run, 81 on his second, so he still holds that number 10 spot. But we'll see if it gets better. But an 84 has him sitting in 10th. Dio Shihara on his second run. As Dio Shihara had a 75 on his first run. Oh, whoa. Yikes. So Dio Shihara, that will be an incomplete run for another Formula Drift veteran. We saw Forsberg come to a halt in the horseshoe, but now Dio Shihara, it was over before it began. All right, looks like we will be sweeping that up. And you saw Di initiate, Ryan?
Well, it looks like he goes to throw a lot of angle in the car, and then right there you can see the front two wheels just sweep over the rumble strips there, and he bumps up as he hits his cone and that little section right there. Yikes. Between the dirt and the grass, or rather the edge of the track and the grass. And like you said, an incomplete for Di. And after a #1 qualification in Orlando, he'll have to settle for a 75.
All right, well, again, we are taking a look at everybody locally here looking at the forecast on their phones, and it is definitely coming. Storms are brewing here at Road Atlanta. So, as I said, fortunately, all the drivers did receive a dry qualifying run. We will be seeing practice in the wet. We are getting the dirt off the course here where Dio Shihara went off. Now up there on the start line, I believe it's Alex Hilbrun, and it is Alex Hilbrun. The former Pro 2 champion, making his way here in Pro and looking very strong, a force to be reckoned with. Inca Madness Racing, here we go, car number 949. Alex Hilbrun on Nitto tires, leaves the start chicane. Hilbrun flying into that front clip, nice job. Well done by Hilbrun, bringing it into that second outer zone. Ryan Hilbrun with a 76 on his first run. On first take, does that better a 76 in your eyes, Sage?
Well, certainly I think it's going to be, I do think it will be better than 76, but let's take a look at the run here in completion. You can see he gets a good start here, initiates right through that first inside clip, and you notice how quickly he was back on the throttle. He didn't let it hang out there. He got right back on it. It allowed him to carry good momentum without having, you can see the wheels spinning right into that second outer zone. Nice job on that inside clip there. Number 2, you can see good fluid motion all the way down. Snappy transition back around. Not too many mistakes here. Good confidence coming into run number 2, trying to better that 76. I think he'll do it.
And an 89 puts him into the number 5 spot, so just outside looking in. As I said, 28 drivers. And that means there will be 4 buy runs. So you want to get one of those top 4 spots in order to advance on quickly from qualifying into the top 16. Dean Kearney, the Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper of Keeley's Radials, coming down the hill with the Oracle lights ablaze, as are now the tires. Dean flew it through that first front clip, up the hill, looking a lot stronger than his first run. Really putting it together here is Dean. Oh, when I say that, you see some left foot brake in there to just get it slowed down to not overshoot that front clip. And back up the hill. So Dean scrubbing a lot of speed there in the horseshoe to get it right close to that front clip.
Well, Dean was he was 77 on run number 1, looking to better that here. He does come out a little bit stronger, it looks like, from the onset. You can see not carrying as much angle as maybe you would like to see coming up the hill, but he just gets to this second outer zone perfectly and nice and tight on that first inside, or that second inside clip rather. Now down the hill here, you can see keeping the smoothness in the vehicle as he transitions back around his final time, and nice and tight on that inside clip. So a lot of drivers really able to link the bottom part of the course, but the initiation inside clip 1 into outer zones 1 and 2 seem to be the most challenging at this point, and Dean does a pretty good job of that and betters his score.
An 83 on the second score, betters his 77, and that puts him currently into the 13th position. So Dean Carnage Carney with an 83 on his second run. Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn Gittin Jr. Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Motorsports team, as Vaughn is currently sitting 5th in the championship. And here comes Vaughn on his second run. Vaughn, can he better it? He already has one of those coveted top 4 spots to get him into the top 16. There's a good opportunity to flex his muscles, get some more track time with this beast of a vehicle. Quickly around that front clip. Nice job there by Vaughn Gittin Jr. And around that final clip goes Vaughn. Pretty strong showing there. Ryan, do you think that betters a 90? I mean, that looked pretty good.
Well, I mean, he definitely did a lot of things that I think the judges called out that they would like to see. Early initiation, lack of the long e-brake pull, getting on the throttle early at inside clip number 1, good throttle up the hill, and then just letting the momentum carry you right into this second outer zone. I mean, he does that perfectly. Right here, he looks like he's going to hit the cone, but he just perfectly wraps right around it. Great job there. I mean, Ryan Lantine, from your side of things, did you see any mistakes there that you could point to that Vaughn could have done better?
Nothing glaring from this angle side of things. He got the highest score that I've given all day so far. You can really see how soft the suspension is when he's making those inputs on the car, the way it's moving around and bouncing, and it's a pretty impressive run.
And Vaughn, a 94 from Vaughn Gittin Jr. So our new qualifying leader.
Well, the fans so far have been right. You guys voted him to be your number 1 qualifier.
Yeah, right.
And so far he is holding to that. He had a 90 on his first run. He backs it up with a 94, and with only 4 drivers left to go, he stands a very good chance at hanging on to that number 1 qualification.
Well, Essa is up next. He currently is sitting in second, just behind that of Vaughn Gittin Jr., but knowing him, he's going to throw down. He's already sitting pretty. As I said, he's guaranteed one of those spots, so here we go. There's Essa, goes in. Oh, buddy. So he throws it in, scrubs a lot of speed now coming into the horseshoe. You can hear that RPM note all over the place. Mashing on. Look at the cloud of smoke lingering here at Road Atlanta. Michael Essa. Big speed. That was pretty fun to watch there. I mean, look, you could barely see the track.
Well, look at what he was able to do here. Watch this initiation. He's going to initiate, throw a big angle in the car. Now, this looks like he's going to mess up, right? But he doesn't. He gets right on that inside clip, gets back on the throttle. The only thing I saw there is maybe the slowdown was a little bit more, but it was just barely noticeable, if any at all. Then he gets right into that second outer zone. Perfect on this inside clip here. Back down the hill, he's got tons of throttle, big smoke cloud that he's driving through on the way back down. You can barely see him here. And then nice snappy, but does miss that last inside clip, so he will get some line deduction points there, but certainly high marks on the initiation and up through outer zone 1 and 2.
And Michael Essa with an 89 on his second run, but a 90 still keeps him, so backing it up. A 90, 89, that's a good place to be, given that he had a 90 on his first run. So he still sits in second position with 3 drivers left. Ryan Turk, he wants to get one of those qualifying spots, and like I said, Gittin and Essa, they will receive, or no, I can't say that just yet because we still have 3 drivers left. Well, I should say Vaughn Gittin Jr. is guaranteed one of those top 4 spots that will get him into the top 16. Can he hold on to the #1 spot? Well, his Drift Alliance brother Ryan Turk is going to try to put a stop to that. Again, win the Black Magic Intense Tire Wet #1 qualifier award. You get cash in the hand as Ryan Turk, 3rd in the championship, and his Gum Out Nameless Performance hand-cooked tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota 86. And here comes Turk down the hill into that first front clip. Flying up the hill, looking like he's got wings on his graphic and in the car. Making all sorts of sound effects coming out of that Toyota 86. The screech of the tires, the popping of the engine, and the smoke just filling this natural coliseum.
Well, Michael Essa's smoke still lingering here, and now Turk laying down a big plume of his own here as he makes his way into his 2nd run. Initiation right at the 2nd standing cone. Very early back on the throttle through the inside clip #1. And Ryan Turk with the 77 definitely wants to better that. Remember, he had that mistake that cost him in run #1. Pretty decent job on that outer zone. Could have been a little bit deeper, could have been a little bit tighter this inside clip, but just minor things here. It should better a 77, no major mistakes. You can see nice snappy movement on that to that last inside clip and then finishing it up there. So Ryan Turk should better that 77, and he will, yeah, he does.
An 86. An 86 for the Toyota 86 puts him into the #10 spot. Ryan Turk, Gum Out Nameless Performance hand-cooked tires, Toyota Racing Toyota 86 with an 86. Our final 2 drivers, currently 2nd in the championship, James Dean. Now James Dean, on his first run, he had a kind of a measly 66, as you said, un-James Deany of him. We'll see if he can better it, and I'm sure he will. I mean, no, it's not a guarantee though. Don't know exactly what happened to James Dean on his first run, but this is his 2nd. 2 more drivers left for our 2nd run of qualifying, and that will commence pro qualifying as James Dean locks it up, throws it in. A lot of e-brake there from Dean on initiation. Motoring up the hill into that 2nd outer zone. Here pounding on that rev limiter and around that final clip. So James Dean, the Wardhouse Falcon Tire S15.
So James Dean looking to secure his spot here, 66. We're looking for 4 top guys that are going to buy runs from the top 32. James Dean looking to do that. He's got to get upwards of a 90 or better. You can see here as he wraps around that 2nd inside clip back down the hill here. Fans at home, does he have enough to get into one of those top 4 spots and hold his position in the championship chase, sitting 2nd now to Frederick Osbo. Here we go.
So James Dean, an 84, and look at that. Even an 84 only gets him in that #13 spot, but he does better the score, so ups his chances of who's going to go against or what's going on. So last but not least, Frederick Osbo. Frederick Osbo, our current points leader here in the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship. Round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. So Frederick Osbo, he sits in 6th. Can he get one of those top 4 spots right now? Gittin, Essa, Blush, and Field have a fast pass into the top 16. Will Osbo better it? And Osbo currently sitting in 6th. Strong, nasty initiation there. Around that front clip, now brings it up into the 1st outer zone, coming in hot into the 2nd. You can hear and see a little bit of disruption in the fluidity. Now back past that final front clip goes Osbo. Let's take a look at this again.
So Frederick Osbo, your last driver here, snappy initiation, as you said, Jared. You can see right here he's going to get back on the throttle just past that first inside clip, and we've seen a lot of the top drivers be able to do that and get the points from the judges. Great job here on that outer zone. Maybe not as deep as Vaughn, your number one qualifier. We are measuring that against him now. He's got that 94. Was this enough? Frederick Osbo always seems to come from behind at the last minute. Does he have enough here to stay in or to get one of those top 4 positions, those coveted buys, as we go to the scores?
And no, he does not. An 88, an 88. So Frederick Osbo with an 88. Some of the fans think he gets a 67.950 million points. But so that does commence Formula Drift Pro qualifying. And our top 4, again, as we said, a coveted spot. You get the fast pass from 32 into the 16 tomorrow. Thanks for joining us out here. Again, taking a look at the schedule, as we just finished qualifying here at 6:30, and we will be seeing open practice at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. So, right now. Okay, I apologize. So we will be seeing practice right now. So as again, Ryan, anything to add?
No, we'll just have open practice for the Pro, which will probably be partially dry and wet until 8:45 tonight, and then the Pro 2 schedule will stay exactly the same to finish out this evening under the lights late into the evening.
All right, so thanks again for joining us here. This is the Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship Casual Friday. We're going to be seeing some Pro 2 here later on, so check your times locally. We'll be back out here, but for Pro 2. Thanks for joining us. Advanced Auto Parts Road to the Championship, Round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. And we'll see you at next stop, Pro 2, later this evening.
Oh, the new Nosferatu drink. Oh, Kyle Busch. Oh, cash, credit, or debit?
Well, man, I'm fresh out, but it is my drink.
Oh, I mean, not really. I mean, it's more my drink.
I'll trade you my hat.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Get rowdy.
When I was a kid, I wanted to touch the skies.
I wanted to invent things.
I wanted to protect others.
I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to make a difference.
I knew that one day I would be the difference.
I am a special missions aviator.
Clinical nurse.
Pararescueman.
I'm Captain Chris Niels, and we are American Airmen.
See more at airforce.com.
What's up, guys? I'm Formula Drift driver Ryan Turk, and I am stoked to tell you about Blackmagic's new product, the Interior Multi-Surface Detailer. I love this stuff because it does the job of 4 different products in one. It provides protection from the damaging sun with a powerful UV blocker. It cleans plastic, rubber, metal, and even carbon fiber surfaces and leaves a natural, non-glare finish. The Dust Guard formula utilizes the anti-static technology to help keep dust from sticking to surfaces, and it has a long-lasting new car smell. So go to your favorite store today and check out Blackmagic Interior Multi-Surface Detailer.
When you love your car, you wish you could check on it anytime, from anywhere. Blackview cloud-connected dash cams let you do just that. Your Blackview keeps you informed of status changes through alert messages. So when something unusual happens to your car, you can visualize it on your phone with Remote Live View and stop worrying. Blackview over the cloud. Me and my car connected. Find yours at blackview.com.
know, at Advance Auto Parts, we have some of the most knowledgeable and helpful people working in our stores. We just thought you should know. Because buying online and picking up your part at the local Advance Auto Parts store is so easy that, well, the most they may get to say to you is, "Hi, here's your part." It's a shame, really. Buy online, pick up in store in 30 minutes. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road.